We brought in the best professor Central Michigan University has to offer, along with some of the most determined students from a variety of majors and degrees, to deliver depth and discovery on the topic of feedback for the educational use of Techsmith Corporation.
Depth and discovery, right? So the depth aspect of it is we get an in-depth learning, an in-depth perspective. Really it talks about the why behind. So it's not just an answer, but it's all the background information and the why. And discovery aspect of it is it's great for learning new things. So if we want to learn what the attributes are that are important, qualitative research is going to do a great job of helping us learn what all those attributes are and also give us an in-depth perspective of what they mean. It does have a key weakness, but it does not generalize to the population, right? And what that means is that we can't talk to a focus group of 12 people, or we can't interview 10 to 15 people and think that we can generalize to the population on certain answers, right?
Each of the students and professors were hand-selected for their extensive experiences and knowledge with feedback in the classroom setting. By doing qualitative interviews, we were able to gain a deep understanding from the target market specifically. After analyzing the data, we are confident in saying we hit the objectives thanks to these participants. We begin by looking at how professors currently provide formative feedback. According to students, poorly trained professors provide little feedback subjective to the individual student. The explanations on projects and written assignments are vague and unclear. Professors and students agree that the best professors use technology as a helping tool and make an effort to provide a comfortable learning environment. After analyzing the data, the participants agreed that some professors will simply not care if students succeed or fail and will give little effort in assisting their education. On the other hand, some professors emphasize the importance of receiving and giving feedback. They believe it's the foundation for success and see it as critical to the education of students.
Our system is based on three main things that 80% of our faculty are judged on, and they get paid more by doing research, which oftentimes has nothing to do with students, followed by service, which oftentimes has nothing to do with students, and the very far third is students.
Literally the whole class each day was nothing but feedback. I think that everyone took it, everything with a grain of salt, and they understood that it was a learning experience for them and for us, so I don't think anyone got upset. I think that it was a good class.
Make sure they're all on the same page. Get them to that standard where you hope they're at, if not beyond that. Give them that deeper learning, the bigger picture. This is business, outside of business, what's happening, what's shaking, and connecting those dots. And so that becomes important.
We would like to stop and share that this next part of the presentation is very critical data for Techsmith and their goals for their new software. Already knowing that some professors will not care, poorly trained professors are unaware of if their students understand the feedback given. With a class of 30 or more, not every student can be easily read for if they understand the information or not. If these teachers use technology, they use the standard blackboard that students prefer not to use. Most of these teachers do not use technology, possibly due to this reason.
Back in our day, we didn't have all of that was coming at us from all these different, the different media and so forth. Yeah, we had video and we had that was coming at us in the classroom. But a lot of us, here's the chalkboard, here's your exams, here's the chalkboard. And we were successful in that. But I think we have evolved. Higher ed has evolved to try to do a better job of that, and let's use these tools the best we can. I just don't think that some faculty are accepting of that. It does create more work, absolutely more work.
The best professors understand the importance of relevance, especially when using technology. They use different mediums to give feedback as an effort to break the barriers between communication.
I'll go back and I'll reference, hey, we said this, last week we were talking about this. I think you take a similar approach too, Mike, and maybe I've used your approach. Maybe I'm modeling you. That's inserting some of those images that are relevant to your lecture. Yep.
This leads to another means of being relevant. Peer-to-peer feedback is a great way to learn for both those assisting and receiving the feedback. All of our participants agree that peer-to-peer feedback is an important aspect to learning, as it will surely arise in the business setting.
Yeah, and if you look at the skill sets that people are looking for in the real world, they're looking for communication skills, they're looking for problem-solving skills, they're looking for project management skills, dealing with change management, team dynamics, things of that nature. So that's my bailiwick, if you like. That's where I focus. And that's the way I treat it in the classroom, too. I basically go into the classroom and say, I'm going to treat you just like a colleague in the business world. Everything that we do in the class I'm going to correlate back to exactly what you would do in the work world.
According to professors, student teams without strong feedback between group members usually struggle to work effectively and efficiently. These teams rely on each member to provide timely and specific feedback, causing each student to be dependent upon each other.
Okay. And it's all done like right away, so we don't like lose like what we've been doing. Like it's all like it builds on each other.
So
you know what I mean?
So timing is important to you.
Yeah.
Along with being dependent upon their other team members, students see Blackboard as a frustrating method of communicating between their group. Participants agree that the best professors facilitate high-quality peer feedback by creating the right environment. Students are much more receptive to giving and receiving feedback if they know they won't be judged harshly. Students also see anonymous feedback as an excellent way to receive honest opinions without feeling judged.
What she does is it's a loose class. Honestly, it's my favorite class I've had in college.
Okay.
Because the way she has it set up, we all know each other. We're all on first day basis. I mean, we call her Darcy in the classroom, which is, to be a cool thing. It kind of brings her to our level, so we're able to relate with her.
Yeah.
And I think as a student, that helps with us, and trying to talk to her and not see her as such a hard authority figure, but allow you to be more of yourself.
Professors and students can see that peer feedback is working effectively through each student's body language. The student is more engaged in the class and therefore more alert and receptive to the information presented. There are a few barriers that prevent teachers from giving high-quality feedback that Techsmith should be aware of. The first is simply that some students and teachers do not care or are uncomfortable giving or receiving feedback.
Roadblocks, definitely for that class, people didn't like going up front. So I could see where they might not really pay attention to what's going on if they're so nervous. They're just concerned on, I want to get out of here, I don't want to stand up here anymore.
Also, some teachers are not trained correctly to give proper feedback, causing some students to lack out on the education they deserve.
I think part of it is a faculty member's training. If I were to make excuses, because I'll be that blunt, I'll call those excuses, because frankly I don't think there is an excuse for that.
With that said, technology may or may not be effective and or utilized in these classes. Having gone through the objectives, we found a few reoccurring concepts that are important to feedback that Techsmith should pay attention to when devising their software. These concepts are relevance, timeliness, and ease of use. After interviewing our participants and analyzing the data, we have come to this conclusion. There are many students and professors that value the importance of formative feedback. They agree that there are barriers to creating a better education system. However, they agree that technology could speed up this process, helping establish a better learning environment, which will hopefully produce better results for students. We hope Techsmith the best with their new project, and thank you for your time. Have a great day.